Hello and welcome back to Green Valley Zoo episode 2. Thank you very much for tuning in. In this episode we're building a picnic area and a small pond or a lake if you like. I'm not sure the difference between a pond and a lake, but it's one or the other. I love the foliage in this game so much. I want to have this zoo full of it, basically. I don't want all the habitats to be squashed together. I want to see lots of areas where all the public can wander around, stop and eat their lunch, sit down, enjoy a bit of nature. Because you do get that in most zoos, certainly here in England. They put a lot of effort into trying to give people lots of room to socialise and to gather, and these places are always full of families with kids who want to run around. Yes, they want to see the animals, but they've all got to sit down at some point and eat some food as well. So there's always lots of picnic areas and open areas for kids to run around. So this is what I'm creating here, and also this particular area, it's just off to the right from the entrance pathway. And I didn't want to block the view from that pathway looking out across the zoo, so I wanted something natural. I didn't want any solid barriers. I wanted something that didn't block anything at all. So this is what I came up with. So it's relatively simple, just a body of water with various rock formations and lots of foliage all around it. Tried to make it look as natural as possible, putting the fallen log down, the fallen tree, little things like that. I think make this game it's so adaptable, which I absolutely love. I just think the amount that you can do with the foliage in this game is remarkable. You saw that I tried a bit of copy and paste, but it was a bad idea. I stopped that straight away. It does work, copy and paste. I love the idea of doing that when it works and when it makes sense, but it didn't make sense there. You see a little jump there, so I've finished the lake there, and I've finished a few rock formations and put some of the aquatic plants in the middle of the water. Nothing too fancy. Again, just trying to keep it looking natural. And here I am just starting with the picnic area. Just getting the path in, just thinking about how I would get a path through to an area, as well as fit some picnic tables at the end. And then I had an idea that I wanted a fountain in the water. Doing my usual jumping from one bit to another and back again, and I just fancied having a little fountain in the middle of the water here. I thought it made sense. You often see that in these places where they've got a pond or something where people can't get to the middle of the water. They often end up putting some sort of fountain or something in. So that's what I did here. Nothing too fancy. Always just zooming out and trying to see what it looks like from a distance. It's all about eye lines in this game, just trying to get everything looking right compared to everything else. And back to the path. Oh, these rocks, aren't these wonderful? You can do so much with these little rocks. And the fact that you can change their colour as well is a lifesaver. And they were perfect for what I wanted to do here. This is something that I've seen certainly in wildlife parks in this country, where they don't want a hard edge to a path. They put a pile of rocks along the edge, simple as that, and it stops people walking off of the path, but at the same time it doesn't block the view. And again, it looks nice and natural. It doesn't look great when you first put them down here, as you can see, but after a while, once you start putting other foliage around, it actually comes out very nice in the end. I was very happy with it. Also decided just to add a few of them around the rock formations. Again, it just adds to the realism. It really does. It's just the little details like that really make all these little areas just pop out and just blend in together and look like they belong there. And these little rocks are so adaptable. You can use them for, obviously, as you can see, just a little bit of decoration in natural areas like this, but I've got ideas of using them for walls and you know, ceilings, I suppose, maybe at some point. I mean, I don't know yet. I haven't tried everything, but I'm sure I can find other uses for them. Yeah, I mean, it's just everything in this game. It's all about thinking about how can you use things not as they're intended. That is the main thing in this game. And I mean, the people that I've watched play this game, the way that they can adapt one item to have 4 or 5 different uses in one zoo or even one building is remarkable, and that's what I love. That's what I'm getting into now. The more I try things, the better I get at building. I mean, it's the same with anything in life, isn't it? The more you do it, the better you get. Here again, just a bit of copy and pasting going on with the foliage. These ferns just look fantastic. Just get a few, mix them together, and it just blend them in, and it just looks so natural and random, even though clearly it's just a copy and paste job. But after a while you don't notice. Just raise the heights a bit, twist them round, blend them in together, and before you know it, you've covered a big area very easily, very quickly, and it looks like you've put a lot more time and effort in than you actually have. But they just look so good, these ferns. I absolutely love them. Being a gardener in real life, I plant ferns in pretty much every garden I work in because they're just fantastic little plants. You know, they give you something to look at all year round. In real life, you know, if they're growing, they look amazing. Once they've grown, they look amazing, and then you cut them down, and by the time you do that, they're already growing again. And I wanted this area to be a bit exotic. So lots of palms and ferns going in, because it's an artificial area. Even though it's meant to look natural, it's something that the zoo would have built themselves. The lake would have been there, but they would have adapted all the landscaping around it to suit their needs. So all of these tree ferns and things would have been artificially planted there. Obviously nothing natural. And then just little details, just wanted to make sure all the edges are covered up. I don't like path edges being exposed in the game, so you'll see that everywhere I build any sort of path, I will always find a way to cover up the edge. It does not look good if you leave the edges exposed. And the fact that you have to cover them up, it just makes it look so much better. It's such a simple thing, just, you know, a little log line along the edge. And it looks exactly as it would in real life. That's exactly what these places would do. Just lie a log down, and it just tells people, you know, don't cross this line, don't be stupid and walk into the pond. So that's what I did, and yeah, it looks really good. And then it was really just about fine detailing after this. Just again, just putting a few more little ferns and things down, and just trying to make everything look full up, but not too full up. You know, you still want to be able to see some of the ground. You don't want to block any views from the path looking into the pond, and you certainly don't want it to look overcrowded, because that wouldn't look good at all. Scatter a few picnic tables around. Again, nothing too fancy here. I want it to be usable. You know, obviously I could do some custom benches and things, but there's no point. I want people to actually come in here and sit down and eat their lunch. So, which they should do if I ever open the zoo to the public. Who knows, I might never actually get people into the zoo. I might just leave it closed. We shall see. A few bins here and there. You know, these places always have bins all over the place because people do love to drop their litter, don't they? And then I've got to make sure it looks nice at night time as well. A few simple lamp posts along the path. Nothing fancy, but it works. It's exactly as it would look in a zoo. They wouldn't have anything too fancy, just simple and effective. And I wanted to highlight the fountain. At night, it's the centerpiece of the whole area, so I wanted it to look lit up. And the best way of doing that is with these floodlights. I think we're just coming to the end of the time lapse now, so I will leave you there, and I will do a short real-time part. I will see you in a moment. Okay, here we are in real time. Not too much to go through here really, not much that wasn't in the time lapse. You can see in the distance here in the back, I've added in some of these absolutely lovely cherry blossom trees. One little technique I used on these to get a bit of variation in the tree, because there's only 3 different types in the game. If you see, this one here is the small version, and it's just a single tree, and then this one next to it, all I've done here is you place the tree and then you simply copy it, rotate it and place it, and I did that 2 or 3 times and it creates a whole new looking tree. And I did that the same. I think this one here again is 3 of the same tree, just turned slightly, and it just gives you a bit more variation. So instead of 3 variants, I've got 4 or 5 different looking trees there. It's a very simple technique, but it works rather well, I think, because all the trunks just knot together and it just looks like one big thick tree. So yeah, I've added some more foliage, obviously some more undergrowth, lots of this bracken, a few ferns, things like that all around the back here. And in here, I didn't want to put too much in here. I didn't want to block the view from the pathway here, looking out over the pond. Again, these rocks, just a few up behind here, just moulding all these areas together. This area I decided to keep clear. I don't want every inch of the zoo to be full up with something. It can look quite nice just having some open areas, so just a simple fence down the path here to keep people from wandering on it. I think that's probably all the extras that I did. There's lots of stuff off to the left here that I've done, but that is for a later video, so I won't spoil too much just yet. Let's just go to night time, because it does look quite nice at night. It's simple. I decided not to light these trees up at the back like I had done with this one over here. I thought that would just be a bit too much. Just a few street lights here, and obviously the fountain in the middle, and this palm tree in the enclosure next door, which you're not meant to have a look at yet. So there we are. Yeah, very happy with how this area turned out. I think in real life it would be a nice little place to go and sit down and eat your lunch. So I think that will do me for now. Thank you for watching, if you have been. I hope you've had fun. Let me know in the comments if you have. If you've got any thoughts and ideas, I would appreciate any feedback. Hopefully you've enjoyed what I've had to say. If you haven't, please let me know that as well, obviously. So yeah, thank you, and hopefully I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.